of the Gaming Roundtable. Pull up a chair if you're able, and grab a beer if you're stable. A little bit different. Anyway, how you doing? It's your old friend the Juice Man, and remember, I am the man telling you the way it is. Today's episode is called Review Problems, and seems like I've been talking a little bit about reviews and things lately. In the last couple episodes, mentioning different things. And as you can see here, I'm playing Toukiden 2, which was released yesterday. Unfortunately, I will not be able to pick this up until tomorrow, which is my payday. But I can still play the demo, even after it ends, and I'm still having fun with it, and will transfer my character over. When I get the full game tomorrow, I will be showing you some gameplay of some of the full-on game. And continue to show you some more interesting things about Toukiden. Tomorrow I also will be, good afternoon Pamela, I also will be bringing you the starting a brand new character in Mass Effect Andromeda. And I want to go through a little bit about Mass Effect and some stuff I already heard about. And that's going to be really fun because a game also features a robust Andromeda galaxy and lots of exploring and space exploration, and that's something I've been into lately. Well, probably always been into it. Anyway, as I sit here, and this episode is called Review Problems. Now, my issue that I'm having with some of these issues of review problems lately started with this one. So So Jim Sterling of the Jimquisition, someone that I am actually subscribed to, played through the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is getting rave reviews. If not all the way around, most places, most sites are giving it 10 out of 10s. It's been a long time since we've had a game come out where a game really got 10 out of 10. Jim Sterling gave this a 7 out of 10. And on his current scale, that is good. He did point out many, many good things about the game, but he did point out some flaws, some things because he is, after all, a critic. And his job is to critique games. I don't think he necessarily agreed with a 10 out of 10. A lot of this is based on Zelda fanboys and other companies, though, out there who gave it 10 out of 10. IGN, I think, did, and some others, but, we all know that they also advertised... The Nintendo advertised Breath of Wild on there like non-stop, page after page. So it's kind of one of those situations to where, again, that makes you wonder. You can't really trust those sites, but you could trust a lot of people out there. Now, Jimquisition is somebody I'm subscribed to. I do appreciate his reviews and the things that he has to say about a game. And he's a longtime fan of Dynasty Warriors, and I love that about the guy, because I am too as well, and I understand why he likes it, and he probably understands why I like it. My point is that a 7 out of 10 is a good score. It is not the greatest score, obviously, but it is a good score. On top of all of that, one site basically stated, have we basically forgot that we just immediately go to the points system and we don't really look at what the person really said. Because what the reviewer is saying to me is more important than the score. A good friend of mine, Posthuman Guy, over at the Unpaid Gamers, basically told me, and check out the site, Unpaid Gamers, a little shout out to you, basically said that when I think it was the newest Call of Duty, and they reviewed it, and it was like a 9.2 on IGN or something like that. And he was like, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, what the fuck is .2? That doesn't even mean anything. .2? What's .2? Does it really mean anything, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube community? No. One of the things I also want to point out is that Jim Sterling also received, believe it or not, death threats because he did not score it a 10 out of 10. Death threats? Really? We're dealing with death threats again. First, Anita Sarkeesian, death threats. No Man's Sky, Sean Murray, death threats. And now death threats to this guy, Jim Sterling. Death threats. Really? Whether you're a kid out there doing this or maybe you're an adult because you're such a fucking fanboy and you can't get over yourself for 5 seconds that someone just didn't give your precious Zelda a 10 out of 10. Right? Right? Let me tell you something how I feel about your death threats, and I'm going to sum up your death threats that you gave Jim Sterling or about this particular subject. And I can sum it up in 3 points. The first point being is that you're not going to do shit. The second point I'd like to point out about your death threat is you're not going to do shit. And the third point I'd like to point out about your death threats, yeah, you're not going to do shit. That's right. Nothing. Because you're not going to kill somebody, find where they live, and go murder them over a fucking review score. You must be the most retarded, idiotic, submoronic gamer that's walking the face of the planet, and you should never be allowed to play any games for the rest of your life. That's it. Because, like I said, oh yeah, there is one more point I did want to point out about your death threats. Yeah, you're not going to do shit. That's just kind of the way it is. It's really bothersome to me when I sit here and think about like how we've just seem to only care about the review points that are being made, but that's all that's being pointed out. And it's kind of a sad thing when in a sad day where we don't even care so much about what the review's even talking about, but we only seem to care about what the actual score is. That's what's important, the score per se, not so much, anything else. And that's a damn shame to me, because I just kind of feel like that's ridiculous. Like, why is this such a huge deal? And for some reason, it's this huge deal about these review scores, and as I've always stated and pointed out, I've said it a million times, reviews are subjective, community gamers out there. I absolutely, and I talked about this the other day, talking about how much I really enjoy, the Dynasty Warriors franchise, and that I would easily give Dynasty Warriors, 8 Empires a 9 out of 10 if I was to review it, and I don't review games. It's not my thing. Because I don't think that giving a review scores are very subjective. I do like some formats of people's. Instead of using point system, I like the A, B, and C and D point system, and you kind of level out the averages, and and you can kind of take from that what you will. But I just like the fact I think that really works. And Carrick at ACG, how you doing, buddy? His buy, wait, rent, wait for a sale, or never touch it again review scale. But what makes him interesting is the fact that he shows you the gameplay, shows you the music, shows you how it's actually running and all that stuff. So to me, that's important, that he's actually showing us exactly what the game is all about, and he makes no bones about it. And very, 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 very few times has he ever just said, hey, this game flat out blows. I just have never seen him really say, hey, you know what, don't touch this with a 10-foot pole. He has done ones that were, hey, wait for a sale. What that just means is, hey, it's actually not a bad game, just wait till it goes down a little bit, and I think you'll get more value out of it. And it's interesting that that's his rating scale, and that's, I think, a great rating scale. Another thing that's interesting, is the fact that we have these review scores, but to be honest with you, I just feel like that people just, again, are not really taking the time to see what the reviewer has to say. Jim Sterling pointing out really good things about the game, how much he actually enjoyed his time with the game. He just didn't feel, and this was, again, it's his opinion, because he's entitled to his opinion. He's allowed to have it. Constitutionally, he's allowed to have it, even in his own country. They have a right to speech. That's how it works. And it's kind of a shame that we are in a position like that where, we just, sit here and think that there's no that people don't have a right to their opinion, and they absolutely do have a right to their opinion. And it's a shame that we got to hear about game these gamers out there so angry about it that they got to threaten a person's life and livelihood over it. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I don't want to hear that. And again, these point-based systems. You know, a 7, by the way, is not in any way, shape, or form a bad score. Never has been. You know, if 5 is the average, then this is like above average. This is an above average score. And that's where, to me, it's 2 points above average. This is a good thing, as it should be. I don't really get it or understand why it is the way it is, but this is the way it is. It doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense to me personally, and I don't know why that we have made such a big damn deal about these damn scores and points. An 8 is a good score. An 8.5 is a good score. They're great scores. Do you understand? Do you understand, gamers, what the difference between a 1 and a 2? I mean, really, seriously. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's just kind of a damn shame that this is kind of like, this is the gaming that we live in today, where we have to deal with people with these idiots out here that that think that, oh, well, a 7 is garbage when it's not. Never has been, never will be. When people have to sit here and think, oh, that he gave that my favorite game an 8. Oh, how dare he give it an 8? It's worth more than that. I'm going to get on his site and troll him. Like, no, who gives a crap, It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Do you understand? It's subjective, people. Points don't mean shit, right? And yes, maybe Jim Sterling has enough clout to make his Metacritic go down a point, but who cares? Who cares if he gave it a 7? If you love the game, and you're fucking liking the game, and you put your hard money on it, then love the game and play it. Who cares what somebody else thinks? Someone could come up to me and say, man, that Token 2, man, Juice Man, I hate that game. I think that game sucks, it's repetitive, I'd be like, well, more power to you. It's, you have a right to your opinion. I don't think that way. We agree to disagree. There's no sense in getting hell-bent, pissed off, out of shape. Oh, yeah, your death threats thing. I did come up with another point, by the way. Point 5 is you're not going to do shit. Anyway, I digress. And this is the indicative of the review problem. We're not reading the actual reviews, I don't think. We're not reading when the paragraph, even if the game gets not the best score and you think it deserves better, but where the reviewer says, hey, this has got cool AI, really good shooting mechanics, you're not even reading that. You're just reading into this other bullshit. And it's just asinine to me that this is what's going on right now. And it's so indicative of such a larger problem. This whole bullshit about review scores. Oh my God, it's a 6, a 7, an 8.5, a 9.2, a 10, a 1, a 6.0, whatever the hell that we're giving it, and we're not really looking at the big picture here. What are the reviewers saying? What are they telling you? Right? I did a gameplay the other day on this game here. And I was hoping that people would see it and go, wow, that's pretty crazy, That's just this is what Togenin has evolved to. I didn't review the game, but I did point out what the game was about and was like with the open world and how you can do all this other stuff. That big whatever the hell that thing is in the distance, I can go there. It's fantastic. A Monster Hunter game where it's open-ended. This is a great thing. I just don't understand, the subjectiveness of this. Angry Joe gave Legend of Zelda a 9, but he also gave it his badass seal of approval, as he refers to it as such. And again, I want to point out that he did mention some things that hold it back, like your weapons breaking too easily, and that yes, you'll be getting tons of weapons all the time, but it kind of sucks when you have a really cool weapon and then it breaks, and then you got to switch to a different weapon that's not real intuitive to do so, and maybe you just wanted to use that weapon. It'd been cool to keep that weapon. I think that's what he was basically trying to point out in the grand scheme of things. That's how I think is going on. And I think that's where that's coming from on that level. So I think it's important that we understand that everyone that's in the review industry that is reviewing games, even if you feel like I feel like, this subjective, and like or big companies like IGN and whatnot who have lots of advertisement dollars paid to them, and maybe they have to give a game a good score because they have to give it a good score. You know what I mean? That's kind of where that kind of does that for me, in that way. That's why I don't really trust GameSpot, IGN, or any of those guys, because you can't trust them. It's they've done a lot of shady shit when their reviews and whatnot, and yet I've seen them talk literally very negative about a game for 80% of a review, but still give it a really good score. But that was like, oh, they give Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity damn near got a 9. Unity got a 9 from IGN? What? Really? Are you fucking kidding me? Or how about Game Informer, or not Game Informer, but it might have been Game Trailers, who gave Dragon Age 2 like a fantastic score. Dragon Age 2 was not a 9.5 game by any means. Now, I enjoyed Dragon Age 2. I did enjoy Dragon Age 2. But is it a 9.5? Hell no, it's not. Not even close. It was fun, yes, but it was nowhere like what. No, definitely not that level at any way, shape, or form. Well, anyway, I'm gonna leave you with that. I want to tell you this though, real quick. I did come up with a couple more points about these death threats that Jim Sterling has received and other gaming companies have been receiving of late, for all those tuning in that may have be doing the death threats. Number 7, you're not going to do shit. And number 8, yeah, you're not going to do shit. Yeah, I just figured I might come up with some more points later. Yeah, 9 and 10, you're not going to do shit. Anyway, this has been the Gaming Episode Roundtable, episode 27. Please keep in mind that reviews are subjective, right? These point systems really don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. They're pretty much worthless. If you have a game and you really like it, who cares if someone dislikes it? It's not important. What's important is that you're enjoying the game yourself, that you really are digging the game. That's what's important. It has nothing to do with anything else other than that. Anyway, this has been the Juice Man. Hey, please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends all about me. Please hit that like button if you're tuning in. I want to give a shout out to Pamela there, my friend there. D-Ron, you can check out his channel. Posthuman Guy, the Unpaid Gamers. Check out what they're doing. They're doing some really great stuff, amazing stuff there. Please look into them. I'd like to give Gamer Girl 18 a shout out. Thanks for still tuning in and being a subscriber to my channel. And this has been episode 27, Game Reviews. I'll be back in a little while for another review. If I'm not back, I'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to show you the full-on Toukiden 2 and start a brand new game of Mass Effect Andromeda. Please stay tuned for those. And as always, gamers, good gaming.